Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Driven Wild. Today we are talking about the drink literally didn't have a lid. Doordash customer finds McDonald's order soaked in sweet tea and nearly empty. So as we all know, McDonald's likes to bag the drinks in with the order, usually with a cup holder of some kind. But this time it spilled so badly it ruined the meal. So the question then becomes, is this the fault of the restaurant or the fault of the driver? In any case, I want to go over what this article is saying, how it actually is, and everything in between. So with that said, let's get started. In a series of TikTok videos, TikToker Annacarolwilliams at Annacarolwilliams showed her followers her McDonald's Doordash order completely soaked by her drink. I will leave her TikTok as well as her profile in the description so you can develop your own opinions on this subject. Can someone explain why the quality of Doordash has gone down to 0 lately? My last 5 orders have had issues, Williams said in the caption. I'm 6 months pregnant and hungry and just needed one good thing today. Why do you automatically assume it's Doordash? You ordered McDonald's, why don't you assume that McDonald's screwed up? Like, seriously. Let's get the facts straight. The video has received over 774,000 views and depicts Williams walking outside to retrieve her order only to find it in bad shape. The things you do for content, huh? Okay, so the order was already in pretty bad shape once it got to the door. But that said, that still doesn't confirm that it's the driver over the restaurant. For all we know, the order could have not been bagged properly to cause the order to have spillage in the bag. Or they didn't put a proper lid on the McDonald's order's drink. All of this is possible, but what do we assume? The Doordash driver did it. You guys, I literally cannot make this up, she says. Like, what is going on with Doordash lately? The drink literally didn't have a lid. That's not Doordash's fault! That's the restaurant for not putting a lid on the drink. You're trying to blame a guy who's just trying to do his job for something that is literally out of his control. To a certain degree, of course, he could have kept the bag level or something to that effect, but there's still only so much you could do in a moving vehicle. William shares the inside of her bag surrounded by flies, where one bag is almost empty except for a few fries and sauce packets, while the other is soaked in sweet tea. She goes on to show the trail of sweet tea down her driveway. Why do I get the feeling that this wasn't the Doordash driver or the restaurant at this point? I can see two things. The driver already had a spillage in the car, and the spillage kind of trailed up the driveway into the front of her home. That's one possibility. The other possibility is that something like an animal or something got into the food because it was out there for so long. Something got in it. They ate the food, they ran away, and now there are flies surrounding it. Like, flies don't surround a meal if it's not out for a long period of time. Like, what is the point, she questions. In the comment section, users assumed she didn't tip enough and offered their opinions on the delivery. You know, honestly, I'm not sure if that's actually the reason that's the case. Like, I don't know if I can assume that the driver did it. Like, is it all on the driver, or is it partially because of the amount of time that the food was out? Was it the restaurant not putting a lid on the order? I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of questions I don't have answered to automatically assume it has something to do with the tip. I just stopped using all the delivery service. The added cost isn't worth the convenience, one user said. You are free to feel that way, and you're handling it correctly to not use the delivery services if you do not find them valuable. I'd rather that than see a no-tip order. Seriously. It's because gas prices raised, but Doordash didn't raise pay. Customers don't tip any more than before. So Dashers think it's not worth it, but need a job, another commented. That has absolutely nothing to do with that at all. Like, if we have a problem with an order, we just typically don't accept the order. Are there dirty dashers that will do heinous things to no tippers? Yes, but that has nothing to do with this. I blame the ones that feel entitled to high tips before they even provide service, the third user said. I blame the people that have a problem with tipping and having a problem with accountability, so they choose not to tip. So therefore, I don't take those orders. Seriously, anybody who says that crap never tips anybody anybody for any reason, and they are a piece of garbage of a human being. In a second video addressing a comment that believes there isn't a trail of tea down the driveway, Williams provided proof via her Ring doorbell. And upon examination of that TikTok, I had to stop the video and watch that. The TikTok is actually just a slideshow of pictures, not actually a recording of the delivery taking place. In the comments section, users blamed Williams for the problem. Well, you obviously got it being delivered on camera, why not post that? That's definitely a good question. I don't know what's going on with that, but it looks like later on we're gonna see that, so let's hang on a sec. Different trail, not from that delivery, another commented. One thing I will say is if anybody puts too much effort into faking a TikTok, I honestly don't know what you're doing with your life. I feel like if anybody feels a need to complain about somebody or something or some company on TikTok simply for the views, not because it's gonna make them money or anything like that, just for the views, is embarrassing to me. I'm embarrassed for that person. Now, if something actually did happen and you're complaining about that, I understand that. But if it didn't happen, I don't understand that. So let's assume that it actually did happen. Did you tip the driver good? And I'm not talking a couple of bucks. I'm talking enough for 2 gallons of gas, a third user said. That's a good question. It definitely is possible that's the case. Depending on where you are, though, that could be really expensive, which is why a lot of people are steering away from delivery apps altogether. In direct response to the user asking for the full Ring video of the delivery, Williams posted the footage in an effort to defend herself. Y'all, I don't know how I could be more clear. He delivered it to me with the drink completely lying flat in a leaking bag, she said in the caption. Yes, the bag is opened in the previous video, but that's literally what it looked like when I opened it. This could be an attempt to get free food on DoorDash, who knows? But that being said, would I be surprised at the fact that this happened? No, not necessarily. These things do happen. Spillages do take place, and unfortunately, we're going to be on the receiving end of those spillages regardless of how the restaurant chooses to package the order. But I'm not saying this isn't real. I'm saying it's not always the Dasher's fault, but we immediately blame DoorDash. So honestly, my assumption is she's trying to get free food, which makes perfect sense, especially if her meal was ruined. Everything was soaked and soggy. McDonald's should have packaged it better and he shouldn't have delivered leaky items, she continued. 100% agree with that. But here's the real question. If the order really was leaking and it happened after he already picked up the order, what's he gonna do? He has to deliver it like that regardless. So honestly, it really comes down to the packaging McDonald's had. In the comments, viewers then blame McDonald's for its delivery packaging. Thank you! Finally! Why did it take this long in the article to actually bring up the point that it's McDonald's packaging long before it is the driver itself? In a third and final video, Williams clarifies other facts about the whole delivery drama. This situation is probably the dumbest thing I'll ever acknowledge on the internet, she says. But I wanted to address some of the most common comments I'm getting. Williams further explains that she tipped $4 for the $17 order from a McDonald's that was 1.6 miles away. In response to those calling her lazy, she adds that she ordered from DoorDash because she's almost 7 months pregnant, works from home, and has a toddler. Okay, $4 tip, I probably wouldn't have accepted that order to begin with, to be perfectly honest with you. $4 tip plus $2.50, that's $6.50, even if it's a small order. That's something I would never put on DoorDash at all. Here's my standard for tipping, and this is how I was raised. It's $5 or 20%, whichever is higher. You chose to tip $4. That doesn't meet any of the ratios. And when people bring up the concept that the McDonald's is a certain distance away from her, they're not accounting for the concept that that driver can be even further away than that from the McDonald's. It's really frustrating to see when a customer uses that logic to justify a poor tip on DoorDash. And that's just a fact. I paid for a service, I tipped, I just want my food here, that's it, she says. It doesn't have to be outstanding service. Well, she at least acknowledges the fact that there's only so much we can do, and that at the end of the day, she knows what she's paying for. She notes that she did open the bag and was able to salvage the fries from getting wet and reached out to 2 DoorDash representatives who told her they cannot do a redelivery and refund. Now, I see that is interesting, because if DoorDash is is saying they can't refund you, they might actually have evidence to show that you got the order intact just fine. So maybe it is faked. Unless DoorDash support is actually just choosing not to be supportive. I don't know. I think that's possible, but I can't be certain. Either way, I was just trying to call out DoorDash, not necessarily the driver, she clarifies. McDonald's is definitely at fault because they didn't even put the drink in a carrier in the bag like they're supposed to. Yo, what is with these restaurants withholding drink carriers lately? I had the same problem at BurgerFi. I had the same problem at a Indian place recently. I'm seeing problems with McDonald's having this, and we don't even get the drinks like that. What is going on to where people think that's okay? It's not. Is DoorDash at fault for not providing the refund or redelivery? Kind of, but it really depends on how customer support truly treated her. Like, did they even do like a investigation? What did the picture look like? I feel like there's a lot of questions I just don't have answers to. In regards to the flies, Williams says she lives in South Texas and that's normal when bringing food outside. DoorDash ended up refunding her $10. So she only got half of the value of the order back. Let's see, $17 for the order plus the $4, it's $21. That's less than half of the value of the order. That's pretty messed up, DoorDash. Also, the fact that she lives in South Texas, I really don't know what the fly situation is like. If somebody from Texas, I know we got a lot of Texas viewers on this channel. If you could let me know in the comments if that's actually a normalcy, that'd be great. It's my opinion. It's worth what you pay for it. None of you pay me. There you go. I think we can all chalk it up to McDonald's being a dirtbag McDonald's. I think the driver should have spoke up if it was leaking at the McDonald's. At the same time, if it happened mid-delivery, there's nothing that person could have done. That was exactly what she was expected to provide. Also, you gotta wonder, is there a chance that this is faked? Yes. Do I think it is faked? Probably not. I do believe that this ends up happening, and it's really frustrating when it does, whether you're a customer or a driver. The driver's probably thinking, oh my god, I'm gonna get a bad rating for this. And even if they don't get a bad rating for it, they're still gonna be frustrated. When we're driving, we're like, what the heck is going on? Why is my car wet for no reason? I really hope that she gets the full refund eventually, but honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if DoorDash was just playing games with the poor girl. We all know that DoorDash has the worst support teams in America, and they're from the Philippines. DoorDash, the company, was wrong for not refunding her. McDonald's was wrong for not putting a carrier in the bag, and the driver was a victim of the situation just as much as a customer, in my opinion. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!